I'm Christopher Titus, and this happens to be
Life's sweetest reward.
the Armageddon Update. Corruption, lying, and yo mama. Today, we are talking about Clarence Thomas, the Supreme Court Justice, who is either more corrupt than Trump is or further into Alzheimer's than Dianne Feinstein. I mean, seriously, people, when you show up to work looking like Willy Wonka auditioning to play the Joker, it's time to resign and let your grandkids, change your adult underthings. First of all, did you guys know that the Supreme Court has no rules about ethics? And that brings us back to Clarence. This man, the second black Supreme Court justice ever. And he was put on the Supreme Court amongst the controversy. He was a sexual predator. But that was a different time when Harvey Weinstein and Bill Cosby probably shared notes on which women knew the deal. Let's take a little journey through this corrupt, manipulative, lying justice. Clarence. He's the Supreme Court's foremost originalist, which means he purports to interpret the Constitution as it was in 1789. That's right, a black man thinks the Constitution was perfect. When black people were enslaved. Damn. Also, by the way, he's married to a white woman, which also couldn't happen when the Constitution was written. Take some balls. Also, his lovely wife, Ginny, worked for the Heritage Foundation, the ultra-conservative right-wing refused to think tank. She was the liaison between Heritage and the Bush administration. And Clarence forgot to tell anyone. Gin also supported Trump and paid for buses to take patriots to the insurrection. Like a traitor. And she emailed state lawmakers in Arizona and Wisconsin telling them to ignore the results of the 2020 presidential election and vote instead for the alternative slate of electors. Like a traitor. She also worked for the Department of Labor, where she argued against equal pay for women. She's a woman. She's a peach, isn't she? Clarence, on the other hand, has a buddy, Harlan Jim Crow. Harlan is a daddy-made billionaire who donates millions to Republicans and collects dictator statues and Hitler memorabilia. He said about his statue garden of dictators, it's to remind you what evil men do. Like I have a statue of my ex in my backyard to remind me. But Harlan's bromance with Clarence rivals me and Ryan. Hi, Ryan. Anyway, here's a list of what Harlan has done for his buddy. He gave him a Bible owned by Frederick Douglass, who I hear is doing great things.
Frederick Douglass is an example of somebody who's done an amazing job.
He gave him a bust of Abraham Lincoln, probably because it clashed with Harlan's bust of Stalin and Genghis Khan near his hot tub.
Life's sweetest reward.
Harlan gave $175,000 to Clarence's childhood library. I'm guessing they used that money to then ban books about slavery. In 2008, Harlan bought $1.5 million worth of land in Pinpoint, Georgia to build a museum to commemorate the community that raised Clarence Thomas. Except he hid that he did that by running it through a shell company that finally was traced back to Harlan. Now, sidebar, my city, Newark, California, has dedicated a porta potty to my raising. It's outside the library where I checked out George Carlin albums as a child. Harlan also gave $500,000 to Ginny Thomas's conservative group, Liberty Central. I guess that's so Ginny could pay for all those buses on January 6th. Like a traitor. And he bought Clarence's mother's house to turn into a museum, except his mother is still living there rent-free. I guess she's running the tours. Harlan has let Clarence use his private plane and for decades taken him on ridiculous vacations on a 161-foot yacht.
I'm flying.
Now, by the way, none of us care if your buddy and you go on vacation. Right, Ryan? I'm still waiting for you and Blake to invite me and Ray. But if you're one of the most powerful people in the country who decides laws that affect 330 million people, maybe you should let us know who you're taking money and free private jet rides and other shit from. and who the conservative donor is who has his tentacles into every aspect of the political party that is currently trying to burn down America. Man, tell us, Clarence, for God's sakes. I mean, make a phone call, put a post-it on a toaster, but just let us know that you're corrupt as shit. I'm Christopher Titus, and this is the Armageddon Update. Originalist. The black guy likes the original version of the Constitution where slavery was legal and black guys couldn't marry white women. Yeah, let's go back to that. That'd be awesome. Of course, it's going to mess my weekend up on the fucking yacht.
Let it flow.
Very short, though. So.
Hi, everybody. Christopher Titus Podcast. We are talking about sketches for the upcoming sketch show. With me, as always, the lovely Bombshell Ray.
What's up, people?
And the amazing Highlander.
There could be anyone.
The Armageddon Update was a hard one to write. I was up early writing it, and it took me longer than usual. It's hard. Clarence Thomas as a justice. It's like from day one, controversy. Day one, sexual predator. Day one, and I was telling
from his career, his entire career,
everything. It never goes away. So but let's start at the beginning. So if you go back to Anita Hill, and I was telling Ray, I didn't get it till just now, but there was no Me Too movement back then. Right. They were still fighting for the ERA and stuff like that.
Yep.
So when a woman said this guy's sexually harassed, and guys
We're
are like,
still fighting for the ERA.
Guys are like, they know the deal. They know, as I said in the thing, they know the deal. Hey, you're going to get sexually harassed. Welcome to the office. That's kind of how it used to be.
Well, there was some bra burning going on back then, which I'm in favor of.
Yeah.
It's kind of a myth. Bra burning, kind of a myth.
Is it really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
It wasn't necessarily a thing. The time that it happened, I have to read this story again. Because it was on the Atlantic City boardwalk, and they started to do it, and then they were told that it was against the law to burn things against fire ordinances, and so they put it out because we would,
as obviously,
we would want to follow the rules.
Even back then, the media jumped on something and made it bigger than it was.
Yeah. I was going to write a bit about that,
but also
in my first show.
Also, women think through what this is going to do to men, and taking your bras off and burning them doesn't make us go, "Wow, that's a great protest." We're like, "Oh,
right."
I did a bit. I did that bit already. Did I put that in my special?
I think you did. What was the bit? Forget.
Do you know what? I don't think I did. Do you remember that bit I used to do about how we're out there and we're protesting,
jumping up and down,
and then we're jumping up and down, and I think I used to say every man had to sit down. It was like I went through the whole. I don't think I put that in my special.
I don't think that made it. By the way, if you want to see your special, Alpha Chick, it's on Amazon. We're quite funny. But let's go with Clarence Thomas. So then. Clarence Thomas, and I read a lot this morning about him. He's an originalist, which means he believes the Constitution should be followed as it was written.
He's technically not an originalist by virtue of the fact that he's black. Yeah.
And married to a white woman, as I was pointing out in the Armageddon Update. Dude, if you're an originalist, then you should be picking cotton on a farm and be 3/5 of a person, or your vote on the Supreme Court should only count as 3/5 of a person.
Yeah, and originally it's written as a living document.
Yeah, originally, yes.
It's baked in. It's written in.
If you're originalist, you actually believe that we should have a well-regulated militia, as opposed to one with no regulation that can actually open carry without a permit. That's the original idea of the Constitution. So what bothers me is you got this guy, and by the way, also we pointed out that he couldn't have married Ginny if the Constitution was still followed as it was, because it was illegal for a black man. He
wanted to revisit the gay marriage decision, but not that decision that gave him the right to marry that handsome woman. She's sturdy. I'm not saying anything about her physicality. I'm talking about her commitment
to being a conservative.
Friends, Juan Williams, who's a political analyst at Fox News, is now calling for an investigation into his.
Is this the guy who said he's one of my friends? And
Juan Williams.
So let's go with what's going on. So this has been going on for many, many years. So this guy Harlan Crow. Harlan Jim Crow. I've nicknamed him. Thank you. Don't mock my jokes. At least I'm fucking trying. But here's the thing. So if you got this guy, this billionaire, who's giving you trips, letting you use his private jet. By the way, when not on just to go on vacation, sometimes Clarence Thomas borrows his private jet to go do shit. And you're a Supreme Court justice. Your wife actually worked for the Heritage Foundation. On top of that, she was the liaison from the Heritage Foundation to the Bush administration while he was a Supreme Court justice. And a couple times they've asked him, does your wife have anything to do with what you say? And he was like, no, we don't talk about that. Really? You don't, you're like,
how did this fly at all?
I know, Ray and I, like, literally you don't, I feel crazy sometimes with the way that the Republican Party has been going. But then you look at, for example, what was the thing that just happened? The kid that released those top secret documents.
Right. Oh my God.
Clearly against the law. Clearly a problem. Should just be very black and white. But of course, Marjorie Taylor Greene comes out and supports him.
Against child labor laws.
And I'm just like, that makes me feel just a little less crazy because Clarence Thomas, this is clearly an ethics violation.
Yes. Yeah.
It's written in black on white paper that you have to disclose this stuff, and he didn't do it. And the fact that Republicans are just like, meh, no big deal. But here's what he said. He goes, well, I talked to some people at the office, and they said if it's hospitality, it doesn't matter. So I went with that. Okay, Mr. Thomas. But how would that argument stand up in the Supreme Court? Mr. Thomas, let me ask you then. What about since 2002, you've been reporting income from a real estate firm that has been defunct? So where's that money coming from, though? That's the weird part. So it's like 150 grand, something like that? He sold his house, his mother's house to Harlan. To Harlan, who's turning it into a museum, except his mom still lives in it. And as we did the Armageddon update, she's the tour guide for the museum now. That's how Mom lives rent-free since he bought the house. He put $175,000 into his childhood library. Mm-hmm. Gave his childhood library $175,000, as I said, to ban books. I guess to continue to use it to ban. But then he bought $1.5 million worth of land for a thing to support the community that raised Clarence Thomas. So it's the weakest ass shit I've ever seen. It's literally like me going, well, my car, my rims didn't match, babe. So I used our savings. I bought new rims because, yeah.
I just talked to some people on the way in.
And they were saying the rims are okay. Your wife would be fine with it.
Yeah.
No big deal. Yeah. We don't need a library or a museum. He was already the one, even for the GOP, where they were like, "Oh God, all right, let's just ignore him." Until Annie Krusty Buttplug came in, they were like, "Oh no!" They like her better than him. I mean, there was a lot of every woman knows that shit. Yeah, creepy real. Shit. But here's what I don't. Here's again. You keep saying this, so just here's my life now, and we've been doing it for a while. But every once in a while, she's kind of hit this. This point now where she'll just walk through the house and go, I don't get it. It just blows me away that these people can even. Yeah. So Marjorie Taylor Greene has to back this guy up. She has to say that this young kid. Let's get back to this real quick. I just wanted to get rid of this before we continue on with Clarence Thomas. Marjorie Taylor Greene has to say that it's okay. This kid gave classified documents and stole them because Trump did. And if she goes, this kid needs to go to jail forever. Oh, does he? Because the ex-president took all those documents and kept them at his house. So she has to literally back him up. And that's another thing. How are we this crazy that we're letting a guy with, like literally, of the 9 justices, 9 of the most powerful people in our country that literally pass laws and okay or deny laws that affect 340 million people, and you can just fucking do what you want? You just get to do what you want. And they even said, Alito said, no, we don't need an ethics. We don't need an ethics thing. We're the Supreme Court. We don't need, we're good with ethics. Are you? Because why don't we go see You're the ethics people. Yeah, you're supposed to. You're determining the ethics. You should actually have the best ethics laws. You should have the cleanest. Yeah. Like no money. So all this money's going to Clarence Thomas. He's traveling. He's going on this guy's yacht, Indonesia. They're traveling all over the world. They're doing everything they can for nothing. He's claimed in all these years, this goes back to when he was put in, he has claimed 2 things on his disclosure. 2. One of them was a bust that Harlan. I think it was a Harlan Coben, but that's not it. Harlan Crow. Harlan Crow gave him of Lincoln because I guess it did.
He gave him what?
He gave him a bust of Lincoln. I guess $8,000 bust of Lincoln. As we talked earlier, because it didn't. I guess it didn't go with his Hitler garden.
Right. It didn't really match.
By the way, there's another weird thing about this guy I read today, which is the craziest
Harlan
shit.
Crow, yeah, he's got all the Nazi artifacts.
Not just that. Ready for the bonus? He's got a garden at one of his houses that's got statues of like busts and stuff, and like Stalin, Pol Pot,
Attila the Hun,
like
Vlad the
Hitler.
Impaler.
He's got a garden, like a contemplation garden, and they said, "Why do you have that?" And he said, "Oh, it's to remember all the evil, so we don't do it again." So you built a garden of that?
Beautiful walkway.
I said an Armageddon update because you didn't get to hear it yet. But we have a bust of my ex-wife in our foyer, just so you never forget. Yeah, never again.
Yeah.
So he's got a garden of like this crazy ass dictator garden. And that and it's there. It's literally there. And people go, oh, but he's really a great guy. The collector of Hitler memorabilia and the guy who's got a garden dedicated to the fucking biggest authoritarian dictators of all time.
Then why is his copy of Mein Kampf an autographed one?
It's an autograph.
Why is it autographed?
Because Hitler's not dead. The point is this.
He's an architect.
He's also got a recent Elvis signature, which is odd. But here's where we go wrong. It's not that people are corrupt, because people are corrupt. That's going to happen throughout history. It's also power. Absolute power corrupts absolutely, and I think there's very rare people you could say that have more absolute power than the Supreme Court, right? Mm-hmm. So if absolute power corrupts absolutely, that's not the problem. We know that's a tenet of life. We know that's an iconic thing that happens every time. But we're not fucking prosecuting it. We do not live in a democracy. We live in an oligarchy, but we just lie to ourselves that we do.
So I was just thinking maybe there should be term limits, right? Because what gives them absolute power is what gives a dictator absolute power is they never have to leave office.
Right.
So I looked it up and it says the reason why federal judges were given this job security is to remove them from political pressures. It's intended to help ensure that the decisions they make are guided by law and judgment rather than trying to placate political interests to save their jobs, like Marjorie Taylor Greene, Lauren Boebert, all of them, Feinstein, all of them that we see doing it. But I would say that he's not removed from political pressure if Harlan Crow has, 100 cases in front of the Supreme Court that he's lobbying.
But Harlan Crow is very, very smart. Harlan Crow gives money to all these organizations who then go to the Supreme Court. So he's a big donor. That some of these companies, some of these places that have cases in front of the Supreme Court, Harlan Crow gives them money. So he is helping them, but he's not directly connected. He's just my buddy.
The only way it would work is if you could, and even then, but if you could be elected or appointed, but could only serve a set amount of time and could not rerun.
You can't run. It shouldn't. No, it should. I agree with that. It's an appointed position that you get to have for 12 years. That's it.
And then you're out.
That's it. You're out. And in that 12 years, at the end of that 12 years, I would say this. You're giving a fat salary. Do you know why I would say this? Because then you, on the way to your ending, you can't actually take a job. Microsoft's can't pay you $10 million. No. You were a Supreme Court justice. You can have the highest pay ever, but you cannot be a lobbyist anymore. You cannot work for another company. Mm-hmm. You're done.
And also, because then if you have crazy people in office like Trump, at least it's not a lifetime. At least it's 12 years.
Right.
At least we can see.
There's a light at the end of the tunnel.
Exactly. Yeah.
And that spans at least
it's too bad nobody legislates based on our podcast. That's all I'm saying. We have a podcast.
We need that. So we have a podcast. Changing the world for people at a time.
And the problem is, the problem is as well that there's no real law governing them.
Right.
And the Supreme Court has consistently upheld their lifetime appointment as constitutional when it's been challenged. So again, we're back in this Congress voting on their own term limits kind of cycle.
Congress voting on their own pay, voting on term limits, their own health care. Yeah.
So federal judges in lower courts all across the country have to adhere to the Judicial Conduct and Disabilities Act. It does not apply to the Supreme Court.
We need a Supreme or Supreme Court. Like, just we need
Yeah,
another one on top.
We need a burrito Supreme Court. 7 layers. It's 7 layers. So we get a burrito Supreme Court. What we'll do is 7 more guys on top of the 9 guys that are like, bro,
with a side of ethics
or women,
nachos.
and all they do is make sure that the burrito Supreme Court just makes sure those 7 layers of ethics. That's right. There we go.
Problem solved. And I'm hungry.
Yeah.
So the end of this podcast is
imminent.
we're just going to do
Yeah,
ads.
is it
We're
today?
just going to do ads from this point forward. Nothing's going to happen. He's going to get away with it. Some more heinous shit will happen. This episode brought to you by nothing's going to happen. I'm looking at this. It's not
He's not going to get investigated.
legislated.
No.
Maybe he'll get investigated. Senate Judiciary Committee sent over a referral today to the guy, Roberts, that isn't going to do anything about it. And because he never does.
Do you know in the history of the Supreme Court, only one justice has been impeached? One.
Congress could open an investigation, but they won't because we've got, Democrats hold the Senate, they hold the House, and they are louder and crazier and will do anything. Plus, in the meantime, while we're all focusing on this, some even crazier stuff is going to happen, and we're going to turn and go, "What?" This will go away because if you could just take the name of every Rachel Maddow episode from 2016 to 20, 17ish to 20. You would, every one you read, you'd go,
holy shit.
I forgot about that. Like crazy stuff.
The Deripaska stuff. We would watch it. I remember when Trump was running, we started watching Rachel Maddow pretty and like the stuff she was uncovering was like, holy shit. And here's the saddest part. People don't care until shit's on fire. They don't have any issue with it until the building's on fire.
Yeah, even
then they're like, I didn't do it.
Well, a bunch of kids will die, and
really, they're like, is
going.
my house specifically on fire?
Yeah.
No, then I'm okay.
That's sad.
It's
Thoughts
very
and prayers.
sad. Thoughts and prayers until it's my house. That's how the gun issue is working.
Mm-hmm.
It's the only thing that could possibly change people's minds, except Ding Dong got shot and still won't, fight for gun legislation.
Scalise,
Ding Dong, that's what I said. Representative Ding Dong.
But they don't all know. You and I speak different language.
It's long dong silver is what it is.
Yeah.
This is actually how we talk at home, and we know what we're talking about.
I know what you're talking about. I want to make sure that
You're
people
right.
listen.
They might not have known. Is for it to happen to people and then them to go, oh. So everyone is going to have to be affected by gun violence in order for anything to
like
change?
you said last week, it's crossing. The streams are crossing now. The streams are crossing now, and that's dangerous. So we're talking about Clarence. By the way, Clarence Thomas.
Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
Hey!
Hey!
That's a movie
reference that you understood.
Was that what you were doing?
Yes.
It was either that or it was like a male urinal peeing reference, and I thought
I do not want to spend a minute in your head. That's the weird like she went through.
I think that's also a rule. It's like you never cross streams.
I've never been
when
close
you're in a
enough to
public
know that.
bathroom.
Yeah.
If you cross streams, there's something you have to do after.
What?
Yeah.
You're making stuff up. So, what?
I
don't even know what you're talking
when you're
about.
in urinals.
If I pee in another dude's urinal while he's next to me, excuse me, dude. Sorry. No, this one, not my style. What's up?
Plus, you need more. I need more room. I get it.
I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Yes, you do. You know what I'm talking about.
Do I? Oh, okay. So I want to talk about this. We've had the weirdest. The gun thing's been crazy. You guys have heard me bitch about it. Those of you that are really, really, really pro Second Amendment and think that we should all own guns, I know I piss you off, and the people that are on the other side are like, we need some regulation. The weirdest shit happened in the last couple of days. All right, there's 3 of them. Number 1, you guys heard about this kid. What's the kid's name?
Tashara.
No, Yar. The kid Yar.
Oh well, which problem are we talking about?
I want to go through the first one. The first one's so 16-year-old kid goes up this
Ralph.
Ralph. So 16-year-old kid is going to pick up his little brothers. Just so you know, the background on this kid, he plays the saxophone in the band. He's in the marching band.
But we shouldn't have to do this.
I know.
I hate this.
I know. I thought
and
about
the media's doing it.
I thought it was too, but you know why they do it? Because when the first thing they did when this happened was to see who the kid was. They use it for the other side. So I want to make sure that everybody knows that you don't know who you're dealing with. Kid goes to pick up his little brothers. This is what a good kid this kid is. He goes to pick his little brothers, he has the wrong address. Shows up to a house. Ding dong. Guy.
Like all criminals do.
Guy. Yeah. Okay. When you're robbing the house, when you really want to attack, ding dong.
And wait for them to answer.
Exactly. And then stand there. Exactly. That's how I do it. So guy shoots him through the door in the head.
Andrew Lester
Then opens the door, shoots him twice more. Thank God it was an 85-year-old man, obviously blind because a kid lived.
Please look up a picture of him. I told him, I said, you got to see this guy.
Yeah.
It's like they did a casting call and found the old racist guy.
Yeah,
it is
because
he goes, maybe this will teach him a lesson. I go, no, let me show him to you. And he was like, oh yeah.
Face is just an angry mess of a
It's like this guy just missed being in the cast of Deliverance by that much.
Because he looked too inbred.
Yeah, they were like, yeah, nah.
Nobody will believe it.
Yeah. It's a little too on the nose.
What I'm talking about that makes me crazy.
I agree with
that the media is doing, and that people in general have a tendency to do, is to describe Black kids that are shot, if they're good kids, in a way that, and this is what they're doing, that makes him sound to racist people more white. He's not what you think of when you think of a Black kid. Let me tell you, he plays the saxophone. He's going to Princeton. It's like, it makes me sick because they don't do that with white kids.
Only Black people play the saxophone. Not a whole lot of white.
That's not true.
I'm sorry. One of the best.
Have you ever been in 7th grade band?
Exactly. That's what I said. It's always like all the white kids are like, skink, king, and then the one Black kid.
Because we all hated Wetting the Reed.
Let me explain what I mean. And I agree with you 100%. But here's why I'm saying it. Because when it happens, let's say if someone, remember the guy that Alton Sterling, right? The guy who got the CDs, remember?
Mm-hmm, yeah.
So what they did, the first thing they said is he was illegally selling CDs out in front of a gas station. So I have to go both ways with it. So you can't, and then they shot him. He said, I'm not doing nothing. They laid on top of him. Someone yells gun, and then they shot him in the chest while they were standing on him. So they always look for whenever it's a Black guy getting shot, they always go to his record instantly. 14 years ago, he's in a domestic violence incident. Well, does that mean he gets shot fucking now? Because you can track my record. Well, a couple years ago, he got in an argument with the network president. He needed to get shot. The
same thing happened.
So I'm just saying that this kid was awesome.
A white 20-year-old girl. The same thing just happened.
Yep.
And we don't know anything about her. She doesn't. Maybe she plays the flute, or who knows? But we don't know.
She's a dirty hippie, is what she was.
Oh yeah.
She's
Antifa.
So this happens. This kid survives. Thank God. The guy's arrested now, right? This guy's arrested now.
Which, the old guy?
Yeah, I think he finally got arrested.
Been charged.
Good.
Finally, yeah.
So then, okay, so all this kid did was ding dong the door. Then a bunch of white kids, 3 different cars, and went up, got lost, went up this guy's driveway, and turned around to go back. He came out of his house. They didn't even get out of the car. They didn't ding dong. They were sitting in the van.
Yeah.
Guy came out, boom, 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 killed one of the girls. Killed her.
Was this the cheerleading?
No. That's the third one.
Oh, this was the wrong driveway.
This was the wrong driveway. Guy came out, said he was threatened. Motherfucker, you came out of the house.
God, we're in the 70s and 80s.
And they were backing up.
They were backing away.
We're in the wrong place. Let's
all the time.
Yeah.
Headlights would show up and be like, "Oh, somebody just
yeah. Who's in the driveway?
Shoot them."
Here, all you're legally if someone pulls in the driveway to turn around, all you're legally approved to do is to go, "What the fuck is this?"
Yeah,
and then they turn around. That's all you're legally.
Yeah.
That's all you go. What the fuck is? Okay, they're leaving. That's it. That's all you're allowed to do. You don't get to walk out front and shoot them. Girl dies. Her boyfriend in the car was his love of his life. This guy just started shooting at the van.
Yep.
Didn't see anybody.
Yep.
Then 4 cheerleaders are hanging out at a mall. Girl walks.
They were at a meet. Late at night, they came back to that parking lot where they would go to their cars.
Right. Another car looks like hers. She walks over to it and opens the door to get in.
Starts to get in, sees someone in the passenger seat, realizes it's not her car, and says, "Oh, I'm sorry." Shuts the door, goes back to the car that she was in.
She's walking away from the car. She's 40 feet from the car.
She's in the car. One of them rolls down the window and says, "Oh, we're sorry. We didn't realize. We thought it was her car." And
guy starts shooting them
in their car.
Shit.
They're in their
Shit.
car.
Shot 2 of them.
Yeah.
Kid just started shooting.
So
followed him. Got out and followed him. No threat at all.
True gun legislation and having hysteria and paranoia and everyone angry at everyone and everyone scared of everything. Those two things really don't go well together.
But can I say this? I hear the same news all the time. I am exposed to the same things, and I'm not a pussy or a coward. I don't believe someone's coming to get me.
You don't watch Fox.
No, but people live in someone's coming to get me, someone's coming to kill me, and they're not. They're fucking not.
Yeah, but you're right about Fox News.
I would say
fire
that
them up.
media, Newsmax, OAN, the
Fox,
ones that I have seen, it is. And definitely it was a characteristic of the last administration to drum up paranoia and fear. Someone's
especially
coming to
minorities.
get you, especially brown people and black people.
And they're
I
going to
told
take it
him
away.
today, like,
She's getting angry.
it walked a line, but we have a gardener named Jose, of course, that comes with a team.
This is walk online.
Here's what I'm saying, and it's right in line with Doug Stanhope's bit that he did forever ago, and it continues to be so relevant. I watch these people work today. They work so hard. You are I said to him today, I said, you see because we live in Los Angeles, so there's a lot more Mexican people here, I think, than other places that we visit. I think some places in the Midwest have never seen a Mexican person. I said today, if they're broke or can't get a job, there's a dude at the end of the street with a cart selling fruit. Or
there's a guy at the off-ramp with flowers. He went and bought the
$14.
$14.
Went all the way downtown at 5 a.m. to buy the discount flowers and then took them to it. I mean, it's like, but anyway.
There's
but
no.
These are the people you should be terrified of. That's what Donald Trump would tell you.
They're not. They are like, I will make my own way. Whereas Americans, especially younger Americans, that someone's taking something from me.
Yes, and
they never think someone's taking from them.
They're not. Yeah. Everybody.
Yesterday, I cut down. Our neighbor is the worst neighbor.
It was racist Karen during COVID that I then found out wasn't a woman.
So his trees are growing over our yard like insanely. So we have a pole saw because I'm a grown man now with a house, and I cut down. And what I used to do is I would snip the branches. Well, I'm like, I'm not doing this all the time.
It's pruning.
So now I'm going, now I'm dropping down to where wherever that tree, the second that comes over my fence, I'm cutting the trunk of that fucker. And so I'm taking ask her, I'm taking down 14-foot pieces of tree off of this guy. Yeah, it's in my yard. So I stacked them up and I'm like, I don't know, man, that's a lot of work. I don't want to do that. So I texted our guy and I'm like, Jose, can you actually cut that tree up for me? Dude shows up literally in 5 minutes. Everything's chopped up to this big, putting nothing, boom, done.
And they're gone. It's crazy.
But you should be afraid. By the way, they will take your jobs. By the way, the thing is is no one's trying. Well, it's also every comic, every hat comic in the world did. Is you going to build a wall? Who are you going to get to build it? Between Mexico, the Mexicans would build it. It's because we have been raised in so much opulence, and you can say what you want. I ain't rich. I ain't these get millionaires. No, but compared to the rest of the world, we are raised in so much opulence. My son drives a car. He had a car when he was 16. That's not an abnormal story.
Yeah.
These people have nothing. They walk 1,000 miles to get to a border, not so they can steal from you, so they can get a job to earn a living.
To feed their kids.
Exactly. Yeah. They're not trying to, and first of all, if you look at the crime rates, I looked this up. So a lot of people, the fuck crime and we immigrants. Not true at all. Well, immigrants commit crime at 63% less than people who live here do.
I bet they don't even, because they're just using this as a fear tool.
Of course.
Because if they're afraid, then you can tell them anything you want. You can get shit done.
Yeah,
and That's fine.
No.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, don't do that.
Get it out of your system.
For those of you listening at home that have written in and complained about how loud the table tapping is,
Guys,
I'm
you don't
trying.
know.
I'm trying to get
literally
them
have
to
a
stop.
hall monitor as I'm talking. Every time I
Because
tap,
people have said it's hard to listen because it's louder than our voices
But,
when even tapping it. And
every time I touch the table, I get. She goes. She's like,
well, because you like to
make my
Yes,
point.
yes,
Yeah,
yes.
I know. I'm sorry.
Anyways, the whole point being that if you do watch Fox for a second, because that's how long you can take it, or Newsmax or OAN,
I'm always stunned.
it's all fear driven in all of it. You know, the leftists, they're trying to kill babies, full term babies.
No. Post birth abortions. That's
Mexicans
murder. That's
and black people are coming to get you
Yep.
and take your shit.
Yeah.
Take your jobs, take your
Yep.
daughters, take
Pick up their
your money,
siblings.
take all of it.
But do you know what they do? Do you know why they do that? Why do you think they do that?
What?
Why do you think they do that? I know it's fear-based, but what's the reason? What do they get out of
Well,
that?
if you keep people scared, they're easier to control.
Okay, but
To get their vote.
But exactly. The
Mhm.
reality is they're doing that so I'm over those fucking liberals.
To maintain power.
Those liberals are going to let these
Right.
Mexicans come in to maintain power.
Right.
100%.
Fentanyl.
Fentanyl.
Mhm. Oh, yeah.
It's coming for you. It's all just like they said about heroin. And I mean, it's just, so it's all fear
And
based.
pot in the 30s.
Speaking of being able to run really quickly, this episode brought to you by Fitbod.
Oh, good stuff.
So Titus has been using Fitbod, and when
Constantly.
he says that he uses it, he's not lying. I see him use it at least probably 5 times a week. When we're on the road, he does it. He puts in
Body
that
weight.
he has no weights and no equipment. He does body weight in the hotel room, and you're always sweating at the end of
Or
it.
I'll have it's a hotel. I'll have a crappy little gym, and I can
Mhm.
go in. I can
Yep.
put here. I have this stuff, and then they'll go. Bloop, it'll go. Give me a workout.
So it's an algorithm that is tailored to you, the equipment you have, what you've done
they keep
prior.
They keep updating. They actually put in now where you can put like, do you want bodybuilding? They used to be like, here's the workout. Now it's bodybuilding, lean and mean.
I heard you say this.
Yeah,
That's interesting.
You can actually change it, and so 'cause like when I go, if I do a bodybuilding one, it's like 7 hard exercises with heavier.
You don't need one that says mean in it, though.
Yeah.
You need to lighten.
Oh, come on, people! I'm a sweetheart up until lean and toned.
It
So
switches your exercises out to, which you always comment on, so that you don't overtrain or get burned out on a certain body type.
it's like, bro, you already did chest, bro.
And you're like,
Yeah.
some things you want to do again, or you don't want to do, and it's like, yeah, no, you're doing this. You're not doing that. You're doing this.
It nudges you a little bit. It's
Yeah.
like, hey, you haven't done this. You haven't done this week. Come
Hey,
on.
toothpick legs.
Yeah,
You need to do it.
Yo, olive oil. Olive oil.
It's basically the difference between having Google Maps now or Waze or the Rand McNally Atlas and the highlighter that my dad used to use
What is the
on
thing
long
you-
trips.
We used to
Remember?
have something in LA. What was it called? It was this big,
Oh, you've told me this,
it was
and I
this
don't
big
know
book.
it.
What the fuck was that book? Thomas Guide. We had a thing called
Oh,
the
the
Thomas
Thomas
Guide,
Guide, yeah.
and you would so instead of having a map, you had to fold out this big. It was this book, but it was 400 pages.
Oh.
Yeah.
So you'd have to go Melrose, flip, and then as you flipped, it was supposedly kind of it was paper ways, really kind of. But
So
it just
that's what I'm saying. It's like this Fitbod is to the old way of working out, like that Rand McNally Atlas is to now using Waze or Google Maps.
I will say this, people, with our discounted stuff, it is so much less than one session with a trainer, and you get it for the full year. It tracks your workout. So like you can actually go flip the calendar back and go, how many times did I work out this month? You can track your progress. It'll also like sometimes it smacks me. I think I've worked out every day, and I go to the calendar and I'm like, oh no, I need to work out 7 days in a row to match my
because he's been using Fitbod. Yesterday, we filmed a workout. Tony Horton is doing a new workout series,
Power Sync 60.
Power Sync 60. And we went and we did the legs. It's called Base Power with Victor, who we love, and one of Tony's OGs. And the air was off and the studio had non-LED lights, and we were doing leg workout. Lots of plyos.
dude.
Oh.
And
Was it just like
a lot of
flooding from the
holding.
sweat?
It was.
Oh yeah.
I thought it was just me, and I looked over and she
No.
was sweating. I was like, yes, it's not just
Oh
me.
no, I was, my hair was like so big and frizzy at the end. So I'm sorry if you guys get that about how we look. But because of that, just Fitbod in general, your endurance is light years. Your muscles are
I didn't even think about it.
All of it. No, you can do just about anything.
And
I said that you go, what do I need to know? And what do I need to practice? I said, you have this, he has an ability to just go away, do whatever it is and get through it. And you don't, nothing phases you.
And then I need to be forklifted to the car. but my pull-ups have increased. My max, my biceps have gone up 10 pounds. Easy. Like stuff that used to be like, because I got to the point now where because of Fitball, where I can it's funny how when it'll give you a recommendation for your body, and then but you can just go in and tap it and change it. So sometimes it put 40 pounds on one day, and I'm like, did someone use my Fitbod? Because like I'm not curling 40s. So I went down and I put 35s in, and then I was like, oh, why that's not as hard as I thought. I could have done 40s, but it said do 6. And it's infinitely adjustable. I'll tell
you guys this really quickly because
let me finish. It's infinitely adjustable. You can track everything you're doing. You can see how many workouts. Let's say you just want to do lower body, you just hit one thing and it gives you all lower body and it adds abs or something. It is. I don't think I've been using it for a year now. Mm-hmm. We've had it over for a year, and it's a daily part of my life.
We had a guy, David, I won't sell you out with your whole name, right in. He said that his goal is to lose weight. He wants to go from 400 to 350. And he kept hearing us talk about Fitbod. He works in a factory overnight. And so he just decided to try it. And you can tailor it to how much time you have. So he comes home from the factory in the morning. In the time that his kids are brushing their teeth, getting ready for school, he decided to start taking that little bit of time. And he said in the email how he's noticed his endurance, his strength, just in general, his ability. He's like hitting these.
And he's only doing 15 minutes a day.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah. So anyway, try it. There's no better time to level up your fitness habit. Try Fitbod today. Get 25% off your subscription, or you can try the app for free at fitbod.me/Titus. That's fitbod.me/Titus.
There's a new Thomas guide out. Did you? It's the Clarence Thomas guide.
He's been waiting.
It's just to list Republican donors that you can help.
Ends up a yacht.
Yeah, and it does. And basically, it lists what they own and their vacation homes.
It's a walking tour through dictators.
The Clarence Thomas guide.
We moved on. I had it, and then we moved on.
Which Republicans can give me a ski trip? His wife is like one of the most corrupt people in the world. Like she was paid. She's a paid for PAC. Buses to go to the insurrection. She was actually working for the Heritage Foundation. She actually emailed of the state legislatures and said, do not go with this election. Go pick the alternate slate of electors. Wow. And she is still walking the earth. She's not in jail.
Here's something else that's really just, she called Anita Hill, like in 2013 or something, to demand an apology.
Biden did apologize. Biden did not vote for Clarence Thomas's, but he did. Anita Hill says he did not stand up for her like he should have. And he said, he apologized, but he said, I'm sorry you were treated that way. Not I'm sorry I treated you
I'm
that
sorry
way.
you feel that way. That's my favorite kind of apology.
Well, I'm really sorry that you're upset.
That's the Fox Dominion. Did you have you seen that one?
Yeah.
By the way, we acknowledge certain
possible aspects of maybe some fine print we missed on the side.
Just one.
I was inadvertent. I said,
however,
maybe, yeah, exactly.
We will continue. Our utmost journalistic.
We're not wrong, but we're going to give you $800 million. What? You're not wrong. You know why? Because we're good guys. Deep down, our journalistic integrity demands that we. That was. By the way, guys, we were talking about this. I'm really upset that Dominion didn't hold their feet to the fire and take him.
That should have been a turning point.
Well, but $800 million is a lot. I mean, then I thought about it later. I thought Combustion Films has someone dead to rights. They're going to owe us hundreds of millions of dollars, and they screwed up our company, whatever, and we're going to burn them down. And then they go, all right, we're going to give you $800 million if you just let this go away. Yeah, what? Okay, then.
But come on. Look, don't you think they had they could have won this if it went to trial. They could have won, and it could have been part of the.
But also, Fox settling fucked everybody else. It fucked. It fucked my pillow guy. It fucked Rudy Giuliani. I mean, they screwed everybody else because there's a bunch of other suits. There's a bunch of other suits.
So Sidney Powell, Giuliani, OAN.
So now there's
some OAN hosts, Smartmatic.
So now there's a precedent set that basically. So well, I guess maybe it's not a precedent because someone's going to have to take him to trial. Then I didn't even think about it because they settled. If the judge had ruled that Fox was responsible, then everybody's screwed. But because they settled,
well, the precedent is it's not even a precedent. It's just evidence that Fox doesn't. I mean, that
Dominion.
That Dominion's willing to take it to trial because they settled on the day of. And what's evident is these people who they're suing don't want to go to trial because they did it.
Yeah.
Fox was willing to pay 800 and something million.
We can just go to the video. You did it.
Yeah. And then Rupert Murdoch's testimony. That was the oddest thing to me ever.
Did he testify? He said he didn't want to go.
He was deposed.
Oh, he was deposed. But so someone else said that it's not that big a deal because even if they'd gone to trial, we would have just heard what they already said in depositions. But I was like, yeah, but the Yahoos, the QAnon, the people that still believe that this election was stolen needed to see it.
Yes, exactly.
They needed to see Sean Hannity go, I'm lying. They needed Tucker Carlson to go, yeah, we were told to say this. And we said, are these your emails where you say Sidney Powell's full of shit? Yes, those are my emails. The dumb people needed to see it. And the dumb people are now going to be like, see, they settled. But that's because they settled. Yeah, Dominion paid Fox. Here's what it's going to be. I told her last night. Dominion paid Fox $800 million. No. Yeah, they did. God damn.
It's such a bummer. They were right at the finish line.
Yeah.
Right there. And it's like, when are we going to get somebody who does something for the greater good?
No, they wanted the money.
It's like Elon Musk. How many things could he have solved? Like for society?
Well, the problem with Elon
with a percentage.
Thing is that what Elon did was Elon said at the beginning he was doing it for the greater good. We're going to become a multi-planet species. I'm all about free speech with Twitter. I want to make sure that we all have electric cars so we can actually save the planet. The whole fucking scam at the beginning was that. It's not the truth. Elon Musk just wanted to be super famous Elon Musk.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
And so I think we are, I wonder what we could call this era. The era of, it's just self-importance. It's an era of self-importance.
Yeah, that's just going to get worse. And social media.
What scares me is
who was it? Bowie?
Yeah, David Bowie called it. But what scares me is what's going to have to happen to change it. Like, look, I'm to the point now, like, what is good? No. What's going to happen?
I think it will.
No, something horrible, bad nuclear war. Something horrible is going to have to happen. Well, that's what I'm
saying. It will be up until the end. Worse and worse and worse and worse. So Dominion was seeking 1.6 billion. They got 787.5. Smartmatic is seeking 2.7 billion in damages. So theirs is even higher. They specifically named Maria Bartiromo, Janine Pirro, and Lou Dobbs. But what the dumb people are going to say is they settled to avoid a 6-week trial, but they didn't settle because their election claims were false.
Yep. They just did it for the money.
They might have said something about the Dominion machines that they weren't supposed to, but that's the election claims were true.
So $800 million? Like, nah. See, that's what the problem with dumb people is that I don't believe that. Well,
and you know what else is as a little side bonus, that this might actually strengthen Fox, their position in the right wing world, because the other OAN or what's the other one?
Yeah, Newsmax.
They're not going to be able to pay that up.
Yeah.
So they might go away.
OAN's already gone online only.
Yeah.
They were dropped from cable news a year or two ago.
Yeah, they got rid of them.
On it.
It's pretty bad when DirecTV, which will put anything on, goes, yeah, you can't be on the plane.
I know.
There's some shit on DirecTV like, wow, how is this a channel?
That's what I keep saying. What's it going to take? Your favorite news channel is now not even allowed on the same platform.
It's a podcast. They have a podcast.
Yeah.
OAN has a podcast.
It's a public access. It's not even It's not even a podcast. It's like,
So what is that? That's the deep state too. This episode also brought to you by Lomi. Lomi, I currently have a batch of brewing.
Oh
on the
yeah,
counter
that thing's
right
going
now.
full time. So the Lomi now is constantly going
Because I'm so excited.
She's actually
I'm,
she's so
testing things
What's
out.
happened is it's like
So tell them what it is.
It's like you did heroin once.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden you're like, I'm doing heroin every day.
Why wouldn't
So
I?
this thing is constantly
Explain what it
making. Lomi is a. Can I say?
You can say the act of what it does is composting.
So it's a composter.
But what it produces is a nutrient-dense
Dirt.
soil.
Yeah.
Dirt. Okay. So I've been.
It's crazy. She came to me and she opens it and she goes, "Look!" And it's like, that looks like dirt.
I went and put it around my fruit trees and stuff. I'll be interested to see the difference that makes now that we're coming into the growth and fruit season. I don't know I'm not a farmer. It's not harvesting. That's when you pick it. What's the growing?
The grow season. The grow season. You're in the grow season.
Yeah. Poochie and I. So it's different according to what you put in there. So I was reading that what helps is to get a good mix. So
Eggshell.
This round today has rice, French fries, eggshells.
Yep.
I forget, but a bunch
Gummy
of some
bears. What else did you
some
get?
blueberries.
Skittles.
You can gummy bear it up if you want.
Some blueberries that went bad. Yeah, you can put so many things in the Lomi.
So I got in trouble. I was doing eggs and I was cracking them, throwing them in the garbage. And she's like, "What are you doing?" She dug the eggshells out, put them in the thing.
Because we don't have food waste anymore.
No, we don't.
So we're doing something better
Right.
for the environment. Food waste goes to the landfill, produces.
Methane gas.
There you go.
Yeah.
And so we're not doing that. We have less garbage in the can.
Right.
It doesn't smell bad anymore. The crazy thing about the Lomi too is it's very quiet.
And
It
we're creating
hums.
the circle. May the circle be unbroken.
And that stuff is so good for your plants. There's 3 settings. I use the one that preserves the nutrients in the dirt. You put all this crap in, Ken, and then at the end of the cycle, you have a bucket of dirt. It's a magic trick. I'm not quite sure how it works, but it's amazing. And it doesn't smell bad. So that's also.
Yeah, it's in the kitchen and it doesn't smell at all. It's crazy.
It's sitting on the counter, but he has figured out that under the sink on the right side, there is a plug under there. So we are going to put it under there before we leave. And then whenever you have food waste, throw it in there. Whenever you have regular garbage, throw it in there. We got it going on, man. So
She's weirdly excited about it.
I'm very excited about this.
Almost as much as shoes. It's weird.
I like how you have
So
it kind
cool.
of built in like a little nook. Here's all the waste nook.
Yes.
It's under-
Oh yeah, no, I got recyclables, regular garbage, compostable food scraps.
If you build out a little rolly thing for it,
That
boom,
would be
drop
sweet.
it in.
I'm interested to see what, now that we're in spring, I'm interested to see what it does to the plants.
I am too.
We'll be reporting on that.
I am too. I just put it around the plants and kind of dug it into the dirt because we have several kinds of food trees.
Can you put moles in it?
Man, I wish.
All right.
We don't want to give this to the moles. The moles would love
No,
this.
he means put them in it.
Oh, there you go.
You get
that would be
a little
So if you want to start making a positive environmental impact or just clean up after dinner, make that part easy. Like when he makes eggs, Lomi is perfect for you even if you're in an apartment, if you have plants. You don't even have to have plants. Once you do this, use the Lomi, you can then throw that in the green bin. If we didn't want to go spread it around the plants, we could put it in the green stuff bin.
Right, and then if it got particular in the landfill, it wouldn't create. It
No,
would just be dirt.
no, and it's this big. You put in a thing this big, and it comes out this big. So head to lomi.com/Titus. Use the promo code Titus to get $50 off your Lomi. That's $50 off when you head to lomi.com/Titus. Use promo code Titus at checkout. Food waste is gross. Let Lomi save you a cold, boring trip out to the garbage can. You two could be as excited as I am.
It's weird.
It's like a food urn.
How? It's not weird. It is, exactly.
It's a food urn. That's awesome.
Dun, dun, dun.
So we've talked about the guns. We've talked about
When you look up
Clarence
shootings, it's amazing because Google's like, which one?
Yeah, right.
Did you see that 2 dead,
2,400,000
4 injured?
hits.
Let me finish. Oh, you set it back. Hey. 2 dead, 4 injured in Louisville shooting just a few days after the mass shooting at the bank.
Yep.
The Alabama birthday party shooting. 4 dead, 28 shot.
I'm sorry, how many shot?
28. Then it goes, shit. Alec Baldwin will return to Russet this week as filming resumes after fatal shooting. That's in the middle of shootings this week.
To try to downplay his shit. Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry.
Statesboro, 1 killed, several injured, 3 dead in 2 separate shootings in Springfield this week. Chicago weekend shootings, 8 dead, 27 wounded. It's
27 wounded
across Chicago. It's just all these hits of shootings.
We didn't have this much shooting in the Wild West.
And you just brought up, the ones that are hitting headlines right now.
And here's the thing for me. If the rest of the world, the murder rate was crazy because they didn't have guns. If their murder rate was like over the top, like they killed more than we kill with guns, I'd be like, maybe the gun thing's working out. Mm-hmm. It's not. Japan, 1 gun death, 1. Australia, they don't have anything like this. When are people going to wake up to the fact that we're not taking your rights away? We're making sure that you don't get killed too, dumb fuck. Mm-hmm. We're making sure that you don't get shot. When you, but someone else said, I love when these guys are like, we have to do something about abortion right now. What about the 3,000 kids a year that are getting killed?
What about the birthday party that was the massacre?
Can't do nothing about it. Beep, boop, beep. Nope, but got to get on this abortion thing. Yeah, but abortion was legal for that. We can fix that, but you can't fix the gun thing. I don't understand. Clarence Thomas, being an originalist. Thomas Jefferson said, it is a living document. It is supposed to be changed as society changes. I'm paraphrasing, but he said, basically, we have no idea what the future holds. So the Constitution needs to be changed as society changes.
Oh, so maybe because society is changing for the worse, it's changing for the worse.
So
right?
They just leave it like it is.
Oh, so he's undoing certain things. Oh, I see. Okay.
I don't get it.
Our society is worse off.
I'm on the ragged edge of being resigned to the fact that we're just fucked.
Here's what else is going on. Marjorie Taylor Greene, this is what you were talking about that I was walking around the house ranting about this morning.
Yep.
That we are even legitimizing this person as a representative of the United States of America. It was a joke. It was, damn, she ran uncontested the first time. She will never get reelected. Lauren Boebert, are you kidding me? She failed her GED. And these people are... Marjorie Taylor Greene was a joke. She was stripped of committees, couldn't do anything. Right. Now she's... For her first term, arguably, they're calling her... Assholes on CNN and MSNBC are calling her one of the most powerful lawmakers in office right now. She's being considered for vice president with Trump. She was silenced by the committee.
With President Hector or whatever it was.
Yeah. The Republican-led House committee, the one that she's on Homeland Security, the one that she's on, even though she's supporting the kid that released all these top secret documents. She called Homeland Security advisor Mayorkas a liar on the floor. Opened her comments by saying Eric Swalwell, who's on that committee, slept with a Chinese spy. You know how she does, like Trump, hit the high points.
That was...
So she's speaking. Democrats moved to strike the comment about Swalwell. They lose because not enough Republicans will support them. Benny Thomas came out and said, we have a history of being bipartisan with this committee that works on solutions, not arguing. This isn't a committee. It's not. Right.
It's not for the cameras bullshit. This is like, it's not, they're not doing it for the camera. Like, guys, calm the fuck down. We have a job to do, right? The Democrats.
And Benny Thompson said, historically, this is not the kind of language that we as members of this committee have ever used. So the chair, Mark Green, who's a Republican, approved the move to strike her comments about Mayorkas. The chair then noted that Green was no longer recognized. He cut her time and wouldn't let her speak anymore. And that's a Republican.
I'm sorry, her own team said that?
Yeah, Mark Green.
I got to look this guy up.
He's the committee chair.
Well, that's what people don't quite understand. Obviously so when it comes down to Al Franken, okay? there's something that Al Franken did that even the Democrats didn't fight that hard for him. Do you remember? So eventually these people, I've learned this by arguing with the president of Fox, you'll edit yourself out if you don't shut up. You're going to edit yourself out. True. And Trump is falling. He's falling. Every poll they keep showing, he's like, nah.
Get shaved off.
Well, people are kind of like, and I'm seeing this in interviews, he was good for the time, but I think it's time for us to move on. That's the best I'm getting out of Republicans right now. Mm-hmm. It's time to move on. No one's going, Trump, Trump. They're just like, it wasn't really great at the time. And, let me say something about what Republicans are doing, because the Republican Party is no longer the Republican Party. The Republican Party is a party of extreme psychopaths who found out because of Citizens United that if they scream loud and they say crazy shit, dumb people will send them money. Marjorie Taylor Greene is now worth like a crazy amount of millions. Same with Boebert. Yeah. So if you're crazy and you make money off it, well, I'm going to be crazy too. If I got on stage every night and I play, and all of a sudden I start playing a saxophone and I start selling out arenas, I'm playing the saxophone. Yeah. Even if I hate the saxophone. Right. So what dumb people don't get is that what Marjorie Taylor Greene and Boebert says cannot be turned into legislation. They're saying crazy shit that's not going to happen, just like Trump did. Crazy shit that's not going to happen. But the dumb people keep sending them money. But what's happening is we have another group of young people that are coming up that are a lot more informed. When have you met? I haven't met a lot of really uninformed, because they grew up in a world of school shootings, 9/11, wars in Afghanistan. Their parents were telling them, if this war goes on, you're gonna maybe have to join the army. They grew up in this world where they kind of had to pay attention to what the fuck was going on because every day it affected them. Mm-hmm.
Fetus.
A fetus, totally.
I think about Fetus, Ryan, how socially conscious he was at 25 years old.
And tuned in. He was tuned in.
I was not that tuned in.
Right.
And he is very progressive. They want the new, better thing. They recognize going back to the old thing doesn't work.
But we're seeing like even this kid that got shot in the front of his house recently, his entire school walked out. And we're like, we're not, you charge that man, or we're not coming back in. And these old white men don't have any concept of what to do with that. So what they do is they keep doubling down on the shit that already pissed those kids off. And those kids are all a voting age in the next 2 years. Yeah. Some of them now, but I mean, the Republican Party is editing themselves out. They're
kids in Tennessee.
Yes. They're going to have.
Which led to your favorite Justin and Justin.
Those guys. Those guys. Do you see what he got? They keep going after that guy, by the way.
So I've been reading him updates because I think you all heard on here how passionate he was about Justin and Justin in
Justin
Tennessee.
Pearson and Justin James?
No.
Jones.
Justin Jones.
Getting put back in their position
3 days after they got kicked out.
Well, all that did was put the spotlight on the main guy.
The speaker.
The speaker
of
the Tennessee House.
The Klan, the Tennessee House. So what happened was because those guys that created all that trouble, all the cameras pointed at everybody in the Tennessee legislature. Well, what happened was
now media is looking at the speaker of the Tennessee House. They have figured out that he illegally lives in Nashville full time. He doesn't live in his district,
which is 120 miles away.
Yes, that he additionally is charging the state a per diem to
drive the 120 miles he doesn't go.
Yeah. Ooh. So he said, what I do is nothing more than what everyone else does with their per diem. So they looked at the average per diem of all the other reps, and it was like $10,000 and some change for the year. His was almost $100,000.
96 grand.
They then also found out, so he legally can't hold that office because he lives in Nashville. His kids are enrolled in school in Nashville. Yeah. And they also found that he hasn't paid property taxes in 2 years on either property. Then they found out that he had a mistress.
Yep.
They keep digging.
The same guy
who works in the governor's office.
Yes. Then they keep digging, find out that she works for Bill Lee's office. It's a whole thing. So I told him he fafoed. He foffoed hard.
He should have been
Yeah.
He should have went, let the men speak. Let these young black men
away.
say it. I say, let these young black men
Exactly.
speak. It is a new day on Tennessee. But instead, he was like, shut up, boy. And now,
This episode also brought to you by Hello Fresh.
Mm.
That's how you should say it.
Hello, Fresh.
Did you make all of your last?
Almost.
What was your
I
favorite
still have some
thing?
leftover items that I'm.
Don't do that. What was
Why?
your
It's always good.
favorite thing?
Favorite thing was the I don't remember the name of it. It was a chicken
Oh, that was
unfried.
good.
I think it was called the unfried.
With the
chicken.
mozzarella in it? Not mozzarella, Parmesan?
Yes, Parmesan. Yes.
Okay, let me just say that those tacos were insane.
Oh, they had tacos.
So
Oh,
they
man.
gave in our last shipment, we both had the same thing,
Mhm.
and the soft tacos
Great.
had lean ground pork.
Yeah.
And I don't usually eat pork a lot. I'm not like I won't eat
Right.
it. I just don't dig
Yeah.
on swine.
Yeah.
But it says you can trade it out for chicken or steak. But I thought every time I've said, and HelloFresh tells me to do something, I think I'll try it once, and I am blown away.
Yeah, we haven't had anything of HelloFresh. I don't think anything they've sent us. Not once have we went not once. Everything's good.
It's
Yep.
stupid. So
Can't lose with it.
you make your own slaw with it.
Yeah.
And cheese, and oh my gosh, they were
was ridiculous.
soft tacos with ground pork. It was,
But also,
I had to send you a
stupid.
picture, and it was such a
You did
a
send
mess.
me. He
I
sent
was
me a
like-
picture.
I'm like, this is my fourth taco in the night. I'm just like, this is so good. Whatever this
It was
is.
so good. And then we had a little bit left over. I ate it for lunch the next day.
Oh, still
Awesome
good.
again.
So HelloFresh, guys, what it's done for me is actually we get it and I'll cook it once in a while, and it made me start to realize, I can cook other stuff too.
Mhm.
It got my skills up to where I cook stuff
Yes.
now.
It gets you interested in it
yeah,
too.
yeah.
Mhm.
Like, if that stuff worked together
Tell
and
them
I
what it
didn't
is.
think it would work, then let me try. I'm going to experiment with this
And we
stuff.
talk about it like they should already know what it is.
HelloFresh is a meal delivery service.
like a subscription service.
Yeah, that comes to your door. You don't have to leave. You don't have to pay for gas. You don't have to go to the grocery store and find all these ingredients. You pick your recipes, or they select them for you.
And the
You
meals
pick how
come in
many days a week.
Meals come in separate bags. So you
Paper
actually-
bags.
You to open it up, you take all the stuff out. It's got the recipe right there. You actually get what I'm doing. They got all these ingredients. Homeboy here will take out certain spices and stuff that he likes. I'm using this for later. So you follow the recipe. You get to keep the recipe card. So we've made things that we just went out and we liked it so much we went and made it on our own.
Yes.
We're making
have
a book out of
Yeah,
all of our
yeah,
new
yeah.
Actually,
recipes.
my niece texted me last week and she said, I'm making your panko crusted chicken.
there you go.
And that was me just making a HelloFresh recipe over and over and over again.
So you get this whole system, and then you cook it. So it's fresh food. It's everything they pick is high quality. The seasoning is always so good.
That's what I'm saying.
Well,
Yeah.
this May they're celebrating Asian American and Pacific Islander Heritage Month.
Wow.
Heritage Month. So it's limited time, and it's done by Chef Subsrcibe in New York City. He has a restaurant called Tagmo. He's curating some recipes this month.
Wow.
You can pick those. You can pick other ones. You can pick, if you're a pescatarian, you can pick Fit and Wholesome. It's awesome, but I highly recommend you try it. Go to HelloFresh.com/Titus16 and use code Titus16. You get 16 free meals plus free shipping. That's HelloFresh.com/Titus16 using promo code Titus16, America's #1 meal kit.
It's cheaper than
It's 25% cheaper on average than takeout and cheaper than grocery shopping. And you don't have to leave your house. And so we'll get the box. It's refrigerated. It's got dry ice in there. And you just pull out each bag. You look at the label on it. You put it in there. So when you're ready to cook it, I'll look and think, what do I feel like? What am I in the mood for? And I grab that bag, shut the fridge. Everything that you need is in that bag. It's pretty amazing. Our dog is on his back with his balls in the air right now. It's pretty ridiculous.
He likes the podcast.
Yeah, he does.
Oh, well, I thought when Biden became president And remember at the beginning when the pandemic kind of turned around and we were all getting vaccinated and it was moving forward and the economy went up and jobs started going crazy and we're adding 300,000 jobs a month. And now we're still working. Everyone's begging. Everyone's going, recession's coming. Yeah, eventually. Why you guys keep talking about it? Every month it keeps getting better. So I thought all this Republican bullshit would go away. I really thought that they would go, well,
yes,
we've lost and we've lost the election. It didn't work out. Biden's doing everything's changing under Biden. Whether we had 12 million jobs added, the economy's growing. Everybody's back to work. The CHIPS Act. He's added 700,000 manufacturing jobs, and I thought people would shut the fuck up.
We just ended up getting more Trumps.
Yeah,
I thought that era was over.
But you know and this is someone pointed this out about Fox, is that Fox has become afraid of their viewers. They don't want to piss their viewers off, and so they have to be more extreme and psychotic instead of going like, no, instead of taking the lead and go, we're teaching you the conservative values and you're wrong. We all have to organize and get this done if we want to have power. They're lying to them to keep them watching television.
Frankenstein's monster.
Yes. And so
it will continue after Trump because you have people like MTG and Jim Jordan who went to New York with his shitty little.
Do you know he's never introduced a piece of legislation? Do you know he's been like, it's 12 years? He's never introduced a piece of legislation. Not once.
I just can't fathom how he keeps getting reelected. We go to Ohio. There are some smart people in Ohio.
Yeah, I don't get it. I think because of gerrymander, they keep saying and if you and I got to pick who voted, if I got to pick who voted for me, I'd be.
See, that's the thing. It's gerrymandering, redlining, money in politics. It's so rigged. You're talking about the younger generation coming up and being able to make a change, but it's so difficult because Citizens United and the super PACs it's all moneyed.
There was a new thing they were saying that there's they're trying to do a thing now where one of the states was going to make all the districts, each representative got 2 districts, and it didn't matter how many voters there was. It mattered you just whatever your district percentage-wise voted. So if you got a hardcore 2 red districts and they percentage-wise voted Republican, then that district won. And so that would because all these little tiny rural communities would outnumber by district than the district that, let's say this downtown Atlanta. They would outnumber it. So if these 2 districts that had 14,000
people in it, as opposed to 1 million.
Percentage wise, it was 9-1. So 90% of these districts voted for the Republican. And only 60% in Atlanta of the 15 million voted for that. And they were like, so that's and they're just so instead of fixing it, instead of the Republicans going, all right, guys, this fucking isn't working. We've got 76% of the country that thinks that abortion should be a woman's right. You don't have to agree with it, but it should be a woman's right. We've got 70% of the public believes that we need good gun laws. We need a national database where we can find psychopaths. We're not going to walk out of the front house and shoot some kids in a van trying to turn around on their driveway. So instead of going, guys, stop, let's become the party that is actually now a part of America. And it was someone broke this down for me recently. They said if you break down what America stands for, it stands for every manifest destiny. We have our own rights. We get to decide our own lives. We have the freedom to go where we want, do what we want. We have the freedom to be who we want. We have the freedom to vote. If you took all those down, and and by the way, we all rise up together. All men created equal. Well, that's what the Democrats believe. Mm-hmm. The Republicans don't believe that.
And they could Fox, for instance, without losing their base to who? Who are they going to lose it to? If they wanted to just
well, they said Newsmax, more Newsmax, because Newsmax actually is on the air.
They are where? Are they one of the cable channels?
Yeah, you could if you felt like it, you could watch it. The man today that shot Ralph Yarl has pled not guilty in his first court appearance. I was going to tell you, because you brought up abortion, the Supreme Court has now stayed that decision again until Friday.
Yeah, for 2 days.
In the meantime, Elon Musk went and was interviewed by Tucker Carlson, and he said that the rise of birth control has allowed humans to still satisfy the limbic instinct but not procreate. And he said if we continue this, civilization is going to crumble.
We have a record number of human beings on the planet.
I'm just going to say a guy that can't seem
birth
to manage
control and abortions.
A guy that can't seem to manage his own body weight probably should.
Birth control and abortions are going to cause civilization to collapse, he told Tucker Carlson.
He can't afford Fitbod, I don't think.
He can't afford all of his kids with all these different women.
He's got 10.
Is it 10?
He has 10 children.
Thought it was 9, and I like that. I'm like,
10.
Whoa, 10 is too many.
I think EIEIO and Bebop were the last 2.
He said the urge to have sex and procreate has been subverted.
Right, because cavemen weren't like cavemen. Right, okay. By the way, I thought about this yesterday. Full disclosure, we have Teslas. I was such a fan of this guy because of what he said. He was trying to help. He's obviously not trying to help. By the way, how do I know he's not trying to help? Because he's fucking being interviewed by Tucker Carlson, a guy who basically has gone out of his way to set America on fire. Yeah. So you got this guy who basically has all the power in the world, could be using it for good. Instead, he became a fucking Batman villain, and now he's doing shit like saying that. So we should. But he didn't say abortion was wrong. He just said that people.
Abortion and birth control are going to cause civilization's collapse because we're not procreating.
But do we have a record number of human beings? I don't understand.
If we don't, there's only 8 billion of us on the planet. So no, what he's really saying is, if you don't start having kids, they can't buy my cars. Oh, you know that's what he's saying.
I just lowered the price again. Help!
I dropped the price of the S another 2,000.
This is in line with the white supremacist talking point.
Of course. Who's he talking to on Fox? He's not talking to minorities.
It's a dog whistle for
well, wait, hold on.
White people are going to get overtaken.
Hold on. Elon Musk is not a racist. He was born in South Africa. God damn it! Oh no! Oh no!
I have some very good news for you because we haven't talked about this yet. But the sheriff that was saying that talked about killing the reporters.
Did you hear this?
And talked about the old days where we could just hang black people.
What state was that? It was Missouri, Mississippi,
Tennessee.
Mississippi? No, it's one of those.
One in there.
One of the
Hold on,
states.
I gotta find it.
One of the ones that.
By the way, you know, it's funny. I say that sometimes. I do. Only because they make the dumb people in these states seem to make the news a lot. Florida, Tennessee, Alabama. But there, man, we go there all the time, and there's some great people. There's Alabama. We play Huntsville. Some smart ass people.
Yeah.
It's Rockets.
Oklahoma.
Just because you have statues.
The Oklahoma sheriff and 2 staffers. There's audio of it.
Oh, dude,
a reporter started to think that they were still continuing legislation and county business after what is required to be public hearing ended. So he left a voice activated recorder in the room.
Just to make sure they weren't making policy without outside of the meeting.
The law says that they have to have it open to the public. And he ends up catching them talking about murdering reporters. One guy says he's already got 2 pre-dug holes.
That guy goes, I got an excavator.
You don't need an excavator. I got pre-dug holes. It ain't like the old days when you could just grab a black person and take them down by the
Mud Lake,
and lynch them.
Mud Lake, get a rope.
Well, we knew this, right? We knew that this is what they were saying.
But
nobody left a shoe phone.
The sheriff and 2 staffers have now been suspended.
One guy resigned.
And and resigned. So maybe there's still hope.
No, here's what. So I was listening to this on the way over to the podcast today, and they were saying that this guy resigned, and I heard the recording. The recording is brutal.
But they're not removed from their job.
They're all sitting around laughing about hanging black people and killing reporters. That's what they're sitting around doing. And I thought, fuck, we are not evolving at all. We know throughout history that those guys eventually, they don't take over. And even if they do, it's a very short time, and then they get aced. Like when we live in a country that was decided on all men created equal, are all supposed to work together. And I don't understand how people can claim to be a quote unquote patriot and have the fucking balls to say these people who are different than me need to be hung. These people who don't believe what I believe need to be buried. These people who are actually just finding the truth, their job at free press, it's in the fucking Constitution, that are just finding the truth. We need to bury them.
We only like certain parts of the Constitution.
Exactly. The parts they like.
Is that in number 2?
Yeah.
Because if not, we don't like it.
Is that in number 2? Whoa. Is that in number 2?
I just know I'm supposed to say 2. I like 2. This episode brought to you by Athletic Greens, a product I use every single day. I've got a new mix.
Yeah, I was gonna say you started the alchemy. You started building stuff into our Athletic Greens. I'm getting nutrients that I don't even know what I'm getting.
Yeah, I got a whole mix. I'm putting in a shaker bottle. Athletic Greens, though, with their D3 dropper dropped in. I'm adding a little collagen, a little CBD powder,
and that's
a little
why I look like I'm 12.
Fiber. Athletic Greens by itself, insane.
Yeah.
Makes a massive difference in my energy, my skin, my sleep, all of it.
Can I say personal experience?
Digestion.
For some reason, sometimes I'll wake up with anxiety. I'm not claiming this is just for me.
Yeah.
Half an hour after Athletic Greens, just feel a lot more centered and locked. Like good. I just
Let
feel good.
food be thy medicine.
Amen.
So maybe you have a deficiency.
Yeah.
By the way, that's my whole life. I've been told that. Thank you.
In the body, not up here.
No,
Athletic Greens, if you haven't tried it, it has over 75 vitamins, minerals, whole food source, superfoods. It's all stuff that your body needs. That's very hard to source individually and get in food throughout your day, every day. And so they kind of took the guesswork out of it. It's the fastest, easiest thing you can do for your health and for your body, period. Put a scoop of it in a shaker bottle. I add a drop of the D3, little water, shake it up, done. Now,
tasty. Go
forth and eat Cadbury eggs for the
It's easy because it tastes good. I don't have that again. I never have that. I gotta drink this. It's like, okay, this is no problem.
It tastes good enough by itself, but you can also drop it into a smoothie. And it won't make it. Like if I had said before with the old greens powder, put that in a smoothie, it would have ruined the whole smoothie. Yeah, you would be like, I don't want to drink more volume of this crap. It's just kind of a tropical fruity taste.
Yep.
It's amazing that they made it taste good considering when you read what's actually in it. So gut and mood support, boosted energy, healthier looking skin, hair, and nails. I feel like my skin is a little glowier. You're giving your body what your body needs and you don't have to figure it out.
And also, guys, not designed by some corporation that actually decided to do something to hit on whatever the trend was. This is a dude that had bad gut issues and couldn't find anything and fixed it for himself.
Yeah, I love that.
Yep.
I know that moment of desperation. So if you're looking for an easier way to take supplements, Athletic Greens is giving you a free 1-year supply of that vitamin D that I told you about and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. Go to athleticgreens.com/Titus. That's athleticgreens.com/Titus. Check it out.
Can I talk about something positive?
Okay.
So my friends over at the National Hot Rod Association, the NHRA, a couple weekends ago, I hadn't gone to the drag races in a while, COVID and whatever. They just weren't having it. And I love Top Fuel racing. I had a Super Comp drag racer license for a while. I love it. I just love it. Just hot rodding is in my blood. I love it. So my son is older now. He's back in my life, and I wanted to take him. So I called NHRA, and I was like, hey, guys, I want to buy tickets. I want to get some decent access. And these guys were so nice to me. So we go up, that we get to go to the suite, the NHRA suite, which we're above the track. And so the cars are, we're at the top of the grandstands. The whole windows, like your body compresses. So I'm like, this is awesome. My son's having a great time. Jets were there with me. And then Chip Foose came with me and Chip Foose. So I think I'm ballsy. I think I'm ballsy, right? And I'm like, cause I've already got tickets. I've hooked it up. I offered to, I pay for them and they were like, no, we got you covered.
Yeah.
So Chip and I are walking around the pits. Two guys from NHRA who I've known, John Segura and the other guy, David, I forget his last name, come up to us. And I was like, thank you guys so much for the tickets. And I appreciate it. We get the suite and Chip's with his girl, Kathleen. It's great. We're having a great time. And Chip, we're done, dude. We've got access, A+ access. And they go, well, if you need anything else, let us know. And Chip leans in. He's a gangster. He just goes, can you get us on the starting line? Now, I want to be clear about the NHRA. So if you've been on the starting line with a top fueler, they're 11,000 horsepower, and there's
terrifying.
Two of them. It's not good. My survival instinct kicks in.
Yeah.
But my son's there, and he's like, oh, that would be awesome. And I'm like, it's not awesome at all. You don't want to go.
I don't love it.
Yeah. So they walk away. They go, sure, we'll get you we'll call you in about 20 minutes. We'll take you to the starting line. And I was like, I don't want, but thanks, Chip.
Done it. Don't want to do it again.
So we go out to the starting line. We go to the starting line, NHRA, and Jet's eyes. He's like, oh, he's just having a blast, and it is so. We have earplugs they gave us. It's so freaking loud. They take me and Chip, not just at the start. We actually are now between. We're on the starting line between two dragsters. And here's the problem. I've been a fan of NHRA for a very long time. I've seen shit blow up and parts go out.
Yep.
And I'm here to an 11,000 horsepower motor. And there's another one.
If
and
a part flies out of that engine,
dead. Dead.
And those cars have gone flying with themselves.
So for whatever reason, there's a guy in the strike. And then I thought, well, the guy that starts them, he stands between them all day, every day. Yeah, so, okay, that's all right. And there's all the pit guys are there. I'm like, all right, my luck will be, I'll be the guy though. But, so he stood there and man, Jet's like, just like these. And I'm like, Jet. And because you can't, it's not enough to have earplugs. You have to push them in so you don't blow your brain out. And no matter what, me and Chip are out there, and no matter what, you can be ready for it. We're watching. I'm seeing the lights. I know when they're going to go. I know it's going to be green, and I know they're about to go as loud as they can go. Doesn't matter. The second they go, you come off the ground. It scares the shit out of you every time.
Oh, yeah.
And we get done, and you know, I was like, let's get out of here. Let's get out of here.
It's like acoustic warfare.
Yeah,
like,
and when you're
breathing,
and you're breathing nitromethane.
Right. Oh, yeah. I forgot about all the fumes.
I thought, isn't that like smoking 10 packs of cigarettes all at once?
And burned rubber.
And those guys, I remember watching Alan, what's his name?
Alan Johnson.
Stand there and smoke, no mask to stop breathing in all of that. Yeah. Nothing. No.
Yeah, nicotine's way healthier than nitrogen.
Yeah, nothing.
But I want to thank NHRA. And guys, you should, if you don't know the excitement of going and watching two top fuelers. You don't even. It's even you loved it. You thought it was fun.
Yeah, I would highly recommend it. It's a fun day out with your family or your friends. It's
take your bros, man. You won't believe it. When you
have some drinks, hang out. I remember when Tony Schumacher put us in a golf cart one time and took us to the finish line.
Yeah.
I don't ever want to do that either again.
So we do that, and
because it's 330 miles per hour coming at you, and you've seen them get squirrely and then shoot off the track. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So I don't think about that. I'm like, I got to go to this is when I first started hanging out with Tony, who, by the way, Tony got a new crew chief, and his car is running so good. Tony Schumacher is gonna. I think I'm gonna predict by the end of the season, Tony Schumacher is gonna be in the top 2 or 3 guys. So takes me down in the golf cart. He's going to the end. He goes, you want to go to the end of the track? And I'm still kind of dumb. And I mean, I've been around drag race miles, but I've never been down at there's no access.
Yeah.
There's a reason there's no access because the cars sometimes crash and go over the wall.
Was this the time we did it together? Early on? Because I remember us saying, we're never going to do that again. Thanks, Tony. And
there's a liability reason. Yeah.
So seeing that thing coming at you quickly?
Yeah. So we're at the barrier, right? Yeah. The cars, if I stand where I'm going to stand, the car's going to be 10 feet from me right there going by at 330 miles an hour. And I'm waiting, and Tony's like, and I look, and I'm standing. This first time I did it, we took you down, but then we stayed back. Remember, we stayed back. So the first time I did it, I stood at the barrier, and I'm standing there, and I realized Tony's not here. And I look back, and he's behind. He's
hiding.
There's a tow truck. There's a truck that he's behind, like this, looking over the hood,
and an ambulance,
and I go, what are you doing? He goes, oh, I drive them. I know they come over the wall sometimes. And I'm like, ah!
Yeah, no, I wasn't.
And all of a sudden you're whoop! And I'm like, ah! And when they go by, it's so...
It takes your like
when
soul
you're
away
Yeah.
for
when
a
you're
second.
500 feet from it and you watch it go by, it's moving. When you're 8 feet, 20 feet from it
Yeah.
and it goes by at 330 miles an hour, it's frightening.
Yeah.
I imagine it's like being on an aircraft carrier.
My dad used to land on
But
aircraft carriers. I
330
always think,
miles
how
an
do
hour.
you practice that?
Yeah.
How do you mess up and learn from your mistakes?
But that's how I feel about the top fuel drivers.
One
on
chance.
Funny
This
Car.
episode brought to you by, finally, not Athletic Greens.
And athletic.
You wanna do it
Sunday, but I was thinking about green.
Right.
And so this episode brought to you by Sunday. Fun, awesome product for your spring and summertime. It's all coming together. I got fruit trees with Lomi. I got
The
grass
lawn,
happening with
the-
Sunday.
Yeah, Sunday, the stuff they sent us like a month and a half ago.
Yeah.
The lawn is back.
Our lawn was dead.
It was
Dead.
it was over.
And
Because of the drought we had. No, we didn't have a drought.
Yeah.
And then we got Sunday on top of it.
And now we've been using it, and it is like carpet again. It's insane. Sunday.
The moles are at the fence. Hey, what's up? Hey, girl.
Hi, girl. Hey, you got some of that Sunday? Hey, put that on here. The thing that's great about Sunday products is, and I've said this before, we have him and the other guy behind me. And so Sunday, it's not a bunch of chemicals that you can't pronounce.
That's going to make him sick.
That would make him sick, because as much as I like to think that they're people babies, sometimes they lick the lawn. I don't know why. It's ingredients like seaweed and molasses and things like that, that maybe that's why he's licking the lawn, actually.
Now
I just thought.
Fuji like pancakes.
So it's springtime. It's time. No better time to try this out. What they'll do, they'll send you a kit. You put some of your soil in it, you mail it back. They already have the outlay of your yard. You can see a picture of it. If you go online and put your address in and stuff, you will see a picture of your house and your yard.
It's pretty security scary. But
Yeah, exactly.
Is this where you live? But they're not. They're,
Now send us your dirt.
Yes. And
Hey, my privacy.
now
but
send us
give
some
it-
dirt. Yeah.
So they decide based on your soil sample what you need. And then this is another one of those products you don't have to leave. You don't have to figure it out. They take the guesswork out of it. They send you the products with a full color description of spray that you hook the bag on your hose, you spray it, do this now. In 2 months, do this one. We'll talk to you not long after that. You'll get your next thing. And it's crazy how well it works.
I've said it before. My father would keep, it was such a scattershot version of what worked. He would have to go to Home Depot and buy different stuff and see what made the lawn grow. And then he'd have to, he didn't even know what kind of grass he had. So he would just keep buying stuff.
That's what I was doing before.
Yeah.
Winging it.
Yeah, winging it. And now, but Sunday makes sure that like they go, boom, do this. And as we can say now after being with them 2 years, it works.
It really works. So Sunday right now, you can get the lawn that you've always dreamed of without having to think about it, and do it extremely affordably. The way I was doing it before, piecemeal, trying to think of things and saying, get that at Home Depot, and that was very expensive. Sunday, they have full season plans that start at $109. So Sunday's offering listeners 20% off. Those full season plans start at just $109. You can get 20% off of that when you visit getsunday.com/Titus at checkout. That's 20% off your custom plan at getsunday.com/Titus. This is the best time to do this.
Guys, I want to mention that on Tuesday, we're going to be in Richmond. And then Wednesday and Thursday, we're going to be in Virginia Beach. Come to those shows. The new show's killer. Her new show is otherworldly in many ways. It's so funny. I've gotten frustrated with comedy lately, because it seems to be it's okay to be low level now. It's okay to be dick jokes and be smarter about your stand up, people. Be discerning. Dick jokes. We were doing them in 1983. Oh, can I tell you one thing? I called Hutch. So when I started comedy, there's this guy that ran the San Francisco Punchline, Hutch, and he was in charge, man. This dude ran the open mic night. If Hutch didn't like you, you ain't getting on. Hutch was always a good guy.
This was Cobb's?
No, this was Punchline.
Punchline.
It's where I started, my first one on stage. So, and I looked it up. I was literally 18 years old. I was 18. February 13th, 1983. February 13th, 1983. And it was my first time on
the day
stage.
before Valentine's
Yes.
Day. Okay.
Yeah. So but Hutch would always and then I would go long sometimes, and I'm an open micer, and I'm supposed to do 5, and I would do 9, and he'd go, "You're not going on next week. You're done. You're not going on." And I go, "But I killed." He goes, "I don't care. You kill in 5, and then you can come back." So he was like that. He was like that to me, and
seasoned pro, old school badass.
he
running
was
that.
Yes, like Yoda,
that you
Yoda,
looked up to
that I
for
looked
all
up
his
to,
experience.
to his experience.
Yep.
He knew exactly where things were.
Mhm.
He'd obviously been doing it 100 years.
Knew good comedy.
Yeah,
had been doing it so long.
Right.
Yeah.
So I call him. I call Mark Hershon, who was another guy that was around at the time. He's a great writer, and Mark's been involved in a lot of stuff. And I call Mark and go, "Do you know have Hutch's number?" Because I think in my head I'm thinking, well, I'm this age. Hutch has got to be 90.
At least.
He's got to be,
yeah.
So I'm going to call Hutch and tell him thank you, because there's a lot of things he taught me coming up and rules that I learned to follow, and call him. And I talked to him. He lives up in the northwest. And I was like, "Hey man, I just want to say I haven't talked to you." And he's like, "Oh my God, what's going on?" And
It's got to be near death.
You got to be, right?
Yeah.
I want to catch it before. I want to catch
Hutch
before.
Good job. Do it now
before he dies,
Mhm.
right? Make sure people that helped you know that they helped you. So we're talking on the phone, and he's like, and I was like, "I just want to say, man, like I know I was a lot." I go, "Jake Johansson said on my podcast that, yeah, you were a lot." So I was an 18-year-old moron. I was an 18-year-old moron at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And I go, "I just wanted to say thank you." And I go, "So how you doing now?" I'm waiting to hear, the tumors and that. Yeah, exactly. I had a stroke and this. And he goes, "I'm doing good." He goes, I moved up here, got out of show business. I love this amazing wife, and he's got this great job, and he's got 2 kids, 20 years. I go, "My kids are 20. I go, "How late did you have your kids?" He goes, "I had them." I'm 64 now. And I thought,
wait.
Exactly. So when I was 18, he was 23.
Because I thought you were going to end up saying, "Oh, and he passed away."
He was 23 or 24 when I was 18, and I was looking up to this dude. Like he's 6 years older than me.
He went back to college. Yeah. He's got a whole nother career.
I'm in graduate school. How are you doing, Titus? "Oh, I have a podcast." So talked to him for a while.
I have a podcast.
But it's interesting how your perception of life changes. I was 18, and I was like, "Oh, Hutch." Oh, and he's like, "Do comedy, you will." And he's 6 years old. So anyway, and now, guys, to wrap this up, Highlanders fun fact. It's Highlanders fun facts. Highlanders fun facts. Highlanders
fun
facts. Oh, that was horrible. I found it eventually.
It was okay. You did a good job.
Oh, thanks, Mom.
You're welcome.
This is going to surprise you.
Uh-huh.
All right.
Uh-oh.
Let's land on a positive note.
Okay.
All right. What upstanding, environmentally friendly company was Clarence Thomas a lawyer for? Really good reputation company.
Ben and
Sarcastic.
Jerry's.
Exxon.
Close.
I'm being sarcastic.
Chevron. BP.
Chevron, B. No,
Chevron,
they have no. Dow Chemical.
Pretty much. Monsanto.
No way.
no.
He was a lawyer
wow.
for Monsanto.
Wow.
Wow.
Yep.
So he's always had integrity.
He's always been a Sith
And
Lord.
he's at peak Monsanto. It was like late 70s, early 80s when they were just fucking canceling everybody.
They, by the way, it grows faster if you put
cigarettes.
dioxin in it.
Your grass turns into cigarettes.
Monsanto is one of the few companies that, so here's how bad it is. So Monsanto now, so farmers, right? Let's say the Central Valley is farms all over the place. So Monsanto has, they fucking engineered their seeds. So there's a patent on their seeds. There's a patent on it. If the wind, you plant your field and the wind blows one farmer's Monsanto seed that he has to pay a fee for because it's patented. If it blows into another farm and that grows and they can pull your stuff and find out the genetic code of that seed, they can sue you. The wind blew it onto your yard. Yeah, that's Monsanto.
That's Clarence Thomas.
That's
Who wrote that shit?
I'm so not surprised. Gosh, boy, is
Exactly.
that perfect. At least he's consistent.
Exactly.
You know
His
what?
whole career.
And by the way, that's why I guess you're right. We should never be. Maybe that's why Washington is not reacting. They're like, yeah, Yeah, of course he was taking
He
shit.
never. I said that was another rant today I was doing. He never should have even been in that position ever.
He
It never
barely-
should have gone any farther.
It was
He
58
will
to 52.
someday live in hell where he has to drink Coke with pubic hairs in it. That will be his eternity.
We can only hope. God make it happen. All right, guys. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. For myself, the lovely bombshell Ray on the Highlander. Later.
Peace out.
There could be only one.